Well, here's a mark of history, a hallmark of history, or landmark, a milestone. On this day in 1938, Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast caused a national panic by making people believe a Martian invasion was real. Do you think something like this could really happen, and how fast misinformation spreads online now? Do you
It
think
already
we could?
did. Don't you remember in Miami when they said the what was it, 2-story alien was walking around downtown?
Okay.
I think I
That
vaguely
was
remember that.
not,
I remember that
not
one.
too many months ago.
Months
So
ago.
so I think it could spread faster than Orson Welles.
Yeah, and this did call. I mean, some people really panicked, and I guess
Committed suicide.
and stuff like this. And the thing is, my mom, she was born in 32, and she was young when she remembers this. She remembers prior to this being broadcast, saying this is a radio play. I mean, it was like covered, but then when they got into it, I don't know how often that
But they reported it like news.
Yeah,
And they had reporters on the ground and everything.
Yeah, but people were out there in the more rural areas, were out there with shotguns looking for these invaders, and it was the thing is, I mean,
It hadn't been done before.
no, it had never
It
been
was a
done
good
before.
theater.
Yeah, excellent theater. I think that I think Orson Welles, from what I remember hearing the interviews afterwards, I mean, years afterwards, he definitely he got some heat for that.
Well, if you think about it, in our childhood, it was like a yearly thing. War of the Worlds with Orson Welles, and you knew that you were going to see Over the Rainbow.
Oh yeah,
was going to come up.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz was going to come
Yeah.
up. But it was every year.
Yeah, and that was also my mom's first color movie that she saw as a child. That came
what?
the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was in 19. That was the first one she actually went to see a theater. It was in full color. I mean, it started all black and white, then it went to color, and it was beautiful color at that time.
Well, like I said a show or two ago, that my family was the first one to get color TV in the neighborhood, so a lot of people came to see what it looked like.
They are rich people.
Yeah, but I guess my dad was a fireman, and he also painted houses, so we had money when we were growing up.
Yeah, and then no, my family, sometimes we had a TV set, like we'd have one of those big ones, the old with the wooden cabinet, and then on top of it, we'd have one that is actually still working, but we did toss out and you go to some people's house, stacked up,
broken console TV set in there, and it's a TV stand for the new TV.
It worked great for a TV stand.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know how many times I went there. You got a big one, smaller one, tiny one.
It was
It's like it was a pyramid.
Kids today don't even know what that would be.
No,
I just remember having the TV repairman for that Curtis Mathis, because you had a lifetime guarantee for Curtis Mathis.
Oh, that was remember the small mall had the store still open. That was right up to like the 90s, early mid 90s, I think it was, before it went out of business. They're expensive. They were expensive TVs, but like you were saying, they had a lifetime guarantee on them. Only one was made in the U.S. towards very, very, very end.
Try that now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we have any electronics.
A lifetime guarantee would be throw your TV away. Here's another one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that's what it is. It's a replacement culture. I mean, you just replace the flat screens. I don't see how they can get into them. These panels I have, these phones, I mean, there's not much room to repair stuff.
It's like they're made in the way that they're made. They're not made to be taken apart.
No,
they're done. They're out.
Because one time I had a phone going bad on me, and the battery. So I had a battery put in. It lasted like 3-4 weeks. I paid $50 for it. End up having to get a new phone anyway.
It's a replacing society.
Yeah, it's like.
But you were talking about something interesting about your business, about not going out until after the election.
We were all talking about that this week, not doing any more sales until next week. It's because a lot of people we're talking to,
the other business owners,
the stores are like, they don't really want to buy anything because they don't know what's going to go on until after the election.
Well, but Harris has already said she's going to have to raise taxes. She's going to have to raise taxes. You remember? Didn't she already say that? Yeah, she's already going to have to do that.
It's amazing that people just say, okay, they're going to raise taxes. Let's vote for them.
Well, a lot of people don't pay taxes.
But that's what I was going to say. The people who vote, a lot of people, the population who votes for.
No, I'm saying a lot of people don't pay taxes.
That's true. Mitt Romney did make a valid point. Well, Mitt Romney did make a valid point. Like, was it back when he was running? Said 57% of the population doesn't pay a federal income tax.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so that's 57%.
And they ran it. They did. Oh my gosh, they called everybody so bad because 57%. Well, it's the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, that's one time he did tell the truth. I mean, he's not a particular favorite.
They have that threat, and they make you think that the IRS is going to come track you down when they don't have the people. Even with the 80,000 extra people, they still don't have enough people to track down people that don't pay taxes.
No, you probably have to be. What I've heard is you have to be high profile to actually get on their radar, which I wouldn't want to test the waters on that. I wouldn't.
You just got to piss off the Democratic Party. That's all you got to do.
But do you think after the election, if Trump wins, then they'll be buying stuff hand over fist, or do you just think it just be go back to normal?
No, I think when Trump wins, they'll go back to the 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
People were buying.
But they're not going to have any more money just because you won.
No, but they're going to release their wallets. People have been holding off on their wallets because they're afraid of what's going to go on.
Yeah, well, especially me, and I'm sure John, because the
Consumers got me.
have no idea what it's going to be this year because they did do a tax hike,
Well, they get like a 20% increase.
something like
Yeah.
that.
And then it's like, I guess we're still supposed to freeze to death. I mean, I guess, if you go totally like libertarian, you're supposed to allow market to set its, the price, but
Free market.
But see,
but it's
Not
not a free
government.
market because it's government gave consumers power in DTE. They're the only two power companies in the state of Michigan. I mean, yeah, there's some little sub levels, but they're the major ones.
And I always say this: if we found a way of heating and cooling our houses that didn't involve having a utility company,
Government would be
they would
there.
outlaw it.
They would be there. You can't have that.
Yeah, they
You
would
can't
outlaw
have
it.
that furnace on the side of your house. It's a fire hazard.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
Everything's
it
up here.
burns wood. I guess it is a fire hazard, right?
we can't burn wood because trees are invaluable. Well, they are replenishable. You can replenish them. You can grow trees.
Government sucks.
Yeah, they want to micromanage just because they're taking the money from large corporations, and you can't be a small corporation. You got to be a big one to get in so you can buy congressmen and senators at that level to make it worth their while. Otherwise, I mean, you can offer a little penance, but what they're going to do?
Well, I mean, it just shows you, like one of the stories, the Department of Homeland Security put up a billboard for illegals to let them know if they're detained where to get counsel.
We're going to let you.
What number to call?
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, we want you to stay here, and we don't listen to other people. We were going to help you.
Yeah, we can spend your money better than you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
It's the same thing.
And then if you stand up for yourself, you're a racist bigot or something because you don't want everybody coming in on you.
But when you were growing up, did you think when you bought a house, I mean, as a little kid, that once you paid for your house, you never have to pay again?
I had that briefly, and then until my parents told me to set me down and show me why they were paying property tax, and I said, well, I thought we owned the property. She goes, yeah, if we don't pay this, it won't be ours anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So you can't own. I mean, people say you can. No, they just put the burden of the taxes on you and then you're more or less renting it.
Yeah,
your taxes.
That's
The
my
government.
That's what I done. When a teacher in school I didn't like, he said, nothing's ever yours. By the time you paid for that house, guess what? You're going to still have to pay taxes on each year. Otherwise, they're going to take it from you. And it's never yours. It's never yours. You're right.
Always to the time you die.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's because basically we got to fuel the politicians. They got to have a job. I mean, think about it though, if they're actually outside and actually have to go for, actually struggle for existence, they'd probably be holding guns to their head at the convenience stores. They're not much different than those type of people. They're really not.
No.
They're not. I mean, they just wear a suit and they get somebody else to do the bad stuff for them, but they're nowhere much different.
Kamala wants to give you a death tax.
Yeah.
So basically, all the way until the time you die, and even after you die, she wants to take money.
Well, not only that, she wants to give you a tax on what that house could be worth next year.
Unrealized.
Yeah.
Unrealized, income.
But she says it's only up to 400,000. Only if people over 400,000.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter because a lot of those people with only, I don't suppose you make 400,000, but you're still a business owner. Are business owners that have
assets. Yeah,
they sell things and they have to make up for that money somehow because it's not only houses, it's businesses and the properties that the businesses own and the equipment is taxed, isn't it?
Money comes in, money goes out. Can roll over $400,000.
Well, another thing is too, though, what I fear is they're not going to just say your houses or the money in your accounts or maybe your investments account, but even maybe stuff heirloom pieces, furniture or whatever, and paintings that might be owned or something like that. They do tax that. They will.
I know the city of Flint walks through businesses
every
now and again and taxes. Like I had a friend that had a print shop and he had gotten some junk printers that weren't even in use. He didn't even know if they're going to work. He only got them to take parts off them to fix his other, but they taxed him on each one.
Yeah.
Non-working.
Right. I've seen that too.
Government sucks.
And also another thing is the federal government, like the fiscal year or whatever, you got to go do inventory on a business that might actually have inventory like dry goods, whatever you call it, what you hold, and even if I don't even if it's have to be yours, you have to pay taxes on that.
At the end of the year, when you have inventory,
you
have to pay taxes on everything you have.
Yeah, everything.
So you have to the stores have to shut down in January and
to
go
figure
through-
it out.
to figure out everything.
Well, not only
and
that,
then they got to pay taxes.
well,
on
okay,
all that.
but you not only pay the tax, you have to pay an accountant, which is a gray tax.
Right.
There's all kinds of gray money that you have to pay in order to pay that tax.
And then if you don't pay that tax or you don't fill out this form right, you get fined and you have to pay a tax
Well,
on that.
me and I had a bookstore in Amazon, right? And
Right.
I made a couple bucks, but I didn't make enough to pay any taxes on it. But I had to pay $395 to find out I didn't owe any taxes.
It's like, okay, and that's another thing is too. I mean, there's so many people's businesses or their livelihoods now is connected to the government taxation system. So I mean, it's unintended consequence, but I still prefer to see taxation lowered or you kind of eliminated. But I mean, all these little cottage industries basically developed around the government taxing us.
I mean, wouldn't you rather see a consumption tax? Well, I mean, wouldn't you think that? Of course, they're going to raise that, but wouldn't you rather have that than the hassle of having to pay taxes to the government?
Yeah, because I mean, let the business owner who does it have the business. I mean, they're already set up to do it.
But at least it would be transparent.
Right.
You would see it.
Well,
where they can do all kinds of tricks with your taxes because all you see is a paycheck.
right.
You don't see all the taxes. You don't look at that. Most people just look at the end result.
Right.
Me and my friends.
But a consumption tax, people would see that when they tried to raise it.
Well, me and my friends used to sit around talking about what taxation is like, and they said, like, you know what? Just eliminate the withholdings each year. You know, just this for 1 year, you're going to be able to have all your money, but you're going to have to keep it in a bank account because you're going to have to pay this at the end. By the time the people have it and saw this little nice nest egg developed, and then they say it's all gone in the hands of a government, there'd be a tax revolt the next night. Next night,
they did that on purpose,
right? Yeah, because it's like painless. It's painless. See, we're going to take
it out of your paycheck before you get it.
Yeah, and so we can send money to Zelensky and everybody else.
Think about how people would react if they gave them all that money and said, "Okay, now we got to take this back for the government."
They would be.
Would they be pissed?
Oh yeah, they would be. It's like, man, they can't take the trip to Disneyland, you know.
Right.
And another thing you made a thing about, everybody gets so like set up on when they get their tax money back. And, oh, I got this much money back, and then I didn't get that much back. It's like stupid. It's
no.
stupid.
I'd rather owe money at the end of the year. That means that I had their money to use how I wanted to use it, rather than them holding my money all year.
It's like they make them out. People don't understand the money like in banks and stuff.
It looks
overnight.
like
It's like this swept in, and they
I
actually
think we need to let Todd in.
Yeah. So go on about that.
No,
you had something.
I just kind of think it's funny if you watch people around February, March, and at first part of April, when they got all these, people got their income tax money back.
Yeah.
Because, they got big screen TVs.
Well, and not only, what about the dum-dums that go to
they've never paid one
but they go to H&R Block, and I don't think they can do it anymore like they were, but they were taking a cut off the top to give you a rapid refund.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They can't do that anymore.
I don't think
they
they can. They can, but I don't think they can take as much as they were.
They were taking it like 20%.
Something. It was a crazy amount. I'd have to look it up.
But
later.
I mean, you were getting your money right then when you're walking out the door, and
you were getting your
most of
money.
these people,
Your money that the government had all year long.
Some of these guys didn't even pay into it. That's the problem. Most of these people didn't pay into it. They had tax credits because they had more kids.
I worked with the person that was making. It was $10 an hour, but this was like 15 years ago. They were getting money for their kids to be put in daycare while they were at work.
Right.
And then at the end of the year, she got like $10,000 back
Earned income credit
on a $15 an hour, 40-hour a week job.
I
mean, a $10 an hour, 40 a week job.
more than
There's
she
no
made.
way she paid $10,000 in because that'd be almost half her income.
Right.
Another thing is too. It's like
you know what she probably did with that money? She probably blew it.
She bought a new vehicle that she couldn't afford.
Yeah, that's another thing is too. People get a big influx of cash. They make a large scale purchase, albeit it might be a vehicle or a house or whatever, or down payment on it, and then they got to realize, oh crap, we got to pay taxes on this. Property taxes.
Right.
It's like, so they got a good chunk of it paid down, and then they realize that's going to just eat away into what they've already deposited, and it's going to take them a longer time, if possible, to even pay it off. So, and then people make so many bad decisions financially.
Well, yeah, I don't know how some of these people drive around a car or a truck with a $500 payment and then another $300, $400 a month for insurance.
Yeah, it's like,
What's the point?
Why don't you just get something you can afford and pay like, the limited insurance you can get, a lot cheaper. It's not full coverage, but so what? I mean,
I would rather pay $10,000 for a nice car or truck and have no coverage on it other than liability.
Right.
And if I crash it out, just go get another $10,000 vehicle.
Yeah, I just don't. Well, the financial experts I talked to, taught at the university and stuff. One guy just ran a car until, he said, I didn't go buy a car. every
Ran the
year."
wheels
Just
off
ran
it.
the wheels off of it.
Fred Meyers, he used to drive
What?
a minivan, white minivan.
Yeah, just probably 10, 12 years old or better.
The guy who's the rich guy, the older guy,
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, he drives?
I'm sure he's chauffeured, to tell you the truth.
No. He drives his own car.
I don't think
Which
so.
is
No, he actually drives.
He's like 90 years old.
He drives his own thing, stops at
I
McDonald's on the
don't
way to
think
work.
so. I
No,
don't
he
think
really
so.
does. The guy, you know why? Because when he started, they had no money.
I'm
He'd stick
saying
with
I
stock.
highly doubt he drives anything. The man has a private plane, and
Oh yeah, he's got a private plane and all
I
that
doubt
stuff.
he drives and goes to McDonald's.
Well,
I guarantee you he goes to McDonald's.
No, because he's probably got security all around him wherever he goes. You're acting like he can just go to McDonald's and Warren Buffett
well, I'll tell you
without
what.
security.
Well, I'll tell you what. CS Mott used to live down the street from.
That's
like
in a whole different world.
But he used to
what
walk
year
to work.
are you talking about?
Well, they're probably 7. Well, before he died, obviously.
And I'm sure
So
he
like
didn't have
60s,
to worry.
60s,
I'm sure he
60s,
didn't have
70s.
to worry about getting kidnapped,
Well, actually,
or his kids getting
There
kidnapped.
was one plot to kidnap.
Well, I'm
one time.
sure, but not like today.
No, I mean, but I just say,
Isn't it sad that we're saying that you
yeah.
can't do that today?
No, I mean, my dad said a lot, most of the time, because he lived in the neighborhood for a while, and he said, you go up, knock on the door, like
But that's
9 times out of 10, it'd be him answering the door.
But
So, I mean,
that's in the world of make believe now. We can't go back to that.
yeah. But I just think
I was just saying that the guys that are rich don't go waste their money.
Of
I
course
know.
not.
No. I mean, I remember Pat Robertson was talking about when he started the 700 Club, and he said he was supposed to meet with the Hunt brothers later on, with trying to corner the silver market in the early 80s. Anyway, he said we met for lunch and we picked up the tab for breakfast. He goes, I understand why rich people got all their money, because he can pick somebody up, picks the tab up for him.
But I mean, if you had $1 million tomorrow,
right?
Would you go buy a new car?
No.
Would you?
No.
I'd probably do buy a nice used car.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
That's the smartest move. I mean, my grandparents and my grandmother would buy a car every couple of years, but she'd turn it in, get them, and she had one guy who knew that she was going to take care of it too. He's always
He couldn't wait to get
He
it.
couldn't get it. He's like, he was calling her like 6 months after we getting it, and she'd, he'd give her a good fair value on it, better than the dealership. Often she'd take that as a down payment and do that all the time.
Yeah.
Every so many years, he'd end up getting the car. So the car she just got done with, he'd get it. It was a barber. This guy was making enough as a barber up north to actually buy these cars. And she was making tornadoes and
But
stuff
then
like
again, when you got all that money, you could be like Nancy Pelosi and have your husband sell stock, knowing that there was going to be a DOJ investigation into the company.
Didn't they get Martha Stewart for something insider trading? That's an insider trading.
Yeah.
That's insider trading.
But it's not because she's a politician. They can do that.
That's BS. They should have.
They all can. Yes.
I know that. I think you covered it one time. Rand Paul says he wants, when they're in Congress or Senate, people who have
own stock.
Not own stock. They can't, or at least have it like years ago. They were advocating put like in a blind trust where somebody else did your investments for you. Like that wasn't still. Going. I heard this.
Her excuse is she can't control what her husband does with the money.
You can't know what he does. With
How he invests, but he made like $500,000 on the sale.
I want to see what happened. I mean, Martha Stewart, if she lost the money that they said she was going to lose, she was going to lose.
I think Martha Stewart stepped on the wrong toes.
That's what I was going to say,
because she was pretty high up at the time.
But
I mean, as a celebrity, think about it.
But they said if she just lost the money, it'd be about the amount of money for a high-priced SUV, like $80,000 maybe. So and she look all the crap she faced for that. I mean, I'd just say shit. I'll just wrap it up. Bite it.
But if you look at it now, she was involved in something.
So why no investigation with her?
There's no investigation because we already know about it.
So we know about it and there's no investigation.
No, because Congress can do that. Well, her husband can do it. She has, like I said, she's got the buffer. Her husband did the stock trading.
Okay, would they allow us to do that? No.
If you did it,
if you had a job and one of your family members or friends made money and they could prove that it was because of you, you go to jail.
You go to jail. You'd have to have a huge fine that confiscate half your income or half your assets.
That's they're all in the same Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah,
they're all in the same boat.
And they're all doing the same
They're
thing.
here to
They're
screw us.
disgusting. I mean, we let this happen
And they act like we owe them some great debt of gratitude.
because they're a congressman.
Yeah. Like we owe them, like they're almost like akin to being a veteran. Oh, you owe us. No, we don't. You just happen to get lucky to get voted in, you know?
I remember watching one day something in the Congress, and somebody said something about Candace Owens and said something, and this came across.
Oh, you can't disrespect us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, why?
Well, yeah. It's like,
We're in God's green earth. Can you guys not get
Because
funded?
they have rules, and you have to follow the rules when you come.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm asking.
I don't.
Literally,
why? I don't think they should be written that way. But and all she was doing is defending herself because I can't remember. It was someone else that she was sitting
Right.
with at the table had said some disgusting things about
had
her.
called her a rate.
I called her a racist.
Called her a racist because she was standing up against this woman because they were talking about how hard it was for black people, and they were white people talking about it, but she's talking about how hard it is for being a black person.
stay out of this. You don't know what it's like. Excuse me.
Yeah,
you see this?
It was
You know?
so stupid. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing. She's trying to explain
But
how the
she got attacked by
by a congressman who was Hawaiian, who was trying to be all. He was trying to be all this. He was all trying. He was an idiot trying to be.
it just was.
And then
But
Jerry Nadler
again,
came out, and then she said, I wish you'd stop falling asleep. And she's like,
or at least pay attention to what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Give me the respect that I have to give you.
well, because
And
you can't say anything bad about our
it's
stuff.
just so stupid when they get clapped back.
Well,
They can't take it.
No, because you got to respect me. No, how about the people that elected me? Then they're idiots too. I mean, whoever elected you's an idiot. But
And that,
But you're just supposed to sit at that table and take what they say about you and just let it go.
well, it kind of segued to the thing about Biden calls all Trump supporters garbage.
okay,
I mean, I understand. Does it really bother you?
No.
Do you care?
No, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. A drooling
Why?
idiot who craps his pants. I don't care.
No, why?
no, it did. It
Why?
finally did. Finally, this time it did.
Why?
Because I'm sick of it.
Well,
I'm sick of and I am. And I know, I'll answer you why.
Okay, you identified the problem. How are you going to fix it?
Get him the hell out of there.
Okay.
that's about it. But
Because honestly, I'm
I mean,
sick of I'm
then-
sick. I'm sick. I'm tired of hearing about how every freaking time this
You're a
man-
Nazi.
yeah,
No, I'm
you're
tired of
a
being called.
racist.
Yeah, if you want to say all these different things,
Trump had some of the most centered people. I mean, I'm politically
Right.
centered people at his rally. Yet they call everybody. You're going to call.
everybody.
You're going to call Kennedy. You're going to call.
Elon Musk, you're
Elon
going to call
Musk.
Tulsi Gabbard. You've already called
You're
her
gonna call
a
all
Russian
the-
asset.
right? But you're going to call all these people racist and Nazis, and now you're going to call them garbage on top of that. Well, he called everybody who's voting for Trump or supports Trump a piece of garbage.
But yeah,
He's calling him garbage,
but
but 2 years ago, he sat in front of a whole thing looking like he's in a freaking Nazi thing with red
when he
lights,
came out,
dark
Brandon.
MAGA. And he's called all of us pretty much
Dark
straight.
Brandon,
He called Dark Brandon. I'm sorry.
not MAGA.
But he
Well,
called-
even though he wore a MAGA hat at a fire station.
Yeah. And he's such and then they come out like this, and they're like, well, he's just, sometimes I'm sick of it.
Okay.
I am so sick and tired of every single time they can say something.
Okay, what are you going to do about it?
you can't do
Are
The
you
best
gonna-
thing you do
you're
is
gonna
get
vote,
Trump in
right?
them. Yeah, vote.
Okay.
But the problem is
But the thing is, the Republicans are so weak-kneed. Every time they get in office, what did they do?
nothing.
Richard Cosby, I
They're-
try to make
we
him
gotta go. Oh, we gotta have some
Oh, bull
Democrats.
crap.
We
They
gotta have
can't
some
even-
love.
They came in.
but you know-
manage
But
themselves.
I hope Trump, when he gets in there, just has a pocket full of handkerchiefs with the presidential seal, and when they start trying,
throw 'em
just
around.
hand them out to dry their tears, and not have them on anything. I hope they don't have them on anything.
Marjorie Taylor Greene may say some stupid things sometimes. I agree, and sometimes.
But what'd you say?
I don't know. There's times she'll say something.
No.
Stupid.
What is it that you're bringing it up?
I'm just saying, but I like the fact that she actually has a fireball thing in her. I like she actually says something. That sometimes she actually sparks, debates or board.
But I think that's a game too. What about
Yeah, I
you?
think so. I think it's a measured
They come
response.
up to a microphone and they get their little
5
little
minutes.
sound bites. I'm going to do this, and they don't do anything. They go right back to their little cocktail parties and have
They
a
do
good
that.
time and
These-
laugh about. Did you see what I said on Fox News?
Yeah, I got you, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll get back at you. I mean, it's a game. It's a game.
Do
with
you
these
think
people.
do you think those guys are doing that when Trump comes in with his guys, this this transition team with all the
They're
different
already
people.
saying McConnell's he's working a plan to sabotage Trump if he gets in there. Because election for the new house or new
Do we even?
speaker is not until the 15th of
January
no, November.
I guess
next year or
November.
Oh,
yeah. I guess we don't. None of us matter because I mean, it's like foreigners got more influence in our country, and our founders are more concerned about. They're more concerned about illegals and stuff than they are us. I mean, and when we complain about it, they're going to set their watchdogs on us. Their little thugs, from the federal agencies.
Oh,
and stuff.
but when you complain about it, what they do is they call these people on the carpet of the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s that they created, and they tongue lash them for 5 minutes of talking points. Did you see how I talked to him?
Yeah, just,
and they all claw their backs.
And all these TikTok people on TikTok and on YouTube. Oh, we can't live without Kennedy. Kennedy is a jewel of the
I can't stand that guy.
Congress.
I can't
Mr.
stand it.
Suspenders with friggin' Eddie Monster looking.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in Congress that does anything?
No, not only for themselves.
No. Is there anyone in Congress that does anything for the American people?
No. I mean,
They say they do. I mean, they'll make a speech. Like Rand Paul will make a big old speech about, and he'll be the only person that votes against something, and he'll get all that airtime because I voted against that.
I mean, and
that's it.
I mean, his dad is definitely. Definitely have respected his dad more than I do Rand Paul. But I mean, he tries. I mean, I gotta give him that.
He tries.
To some
But he
degree.
doesn't do anything.
But only one person in that mix can he do anything? I mean, be
No,
honest.
but that's his part in the little acting theater.
Okay, so
of
if he had
Congress.
people to help him, would he be
They
acting?
won't, they
or would
won't
he be trying
because all they want to do is get along
to
to
go
get along.
That's the problem with it. We talked about this before, bringing the congressmen and senators back to their home districts, more. That's got to be a big part of the front. But they're not going to ever pass that kind of resolution on themselves or that kind of reform because they
but I'm sure that if they brush off the Constitution, they'll find that the House in the states have a lot more power than they. The reason they don't use that power is because what will happen is there will be a bill to give the state money, but if you don't stay between these two lines,
right,
you're not going to get that money. And the Department of Education did that a lot.
Yeah, the thing is, we create these entities, and then they have a bigger life than we've ever. The people, even who maybe well intentions, if there was such a good intentions, created that they didn't even realize the unintended consequences. It keeps on going back to unintended consequences. You started, everybody thought the board, the Department of Education was probably a good step back when Carter created it. They wanted more consistent education system, standards throughout the country.
Okay, but what government does is create a problem so they can pretend to solve it and get bigger.
See, I think that a lot of people.
I don't think education was the problem that they were making it out to be.
Well, actually,
we think about it.
It's plummeted. Our standards have plummeted.
If you took a kid from the 70s, if you took a high school kid up from the 70s and put him up college graduate of today,
right,
they would smoke him.
Well, my brother graduated in 1971. I graduated. Me and my sister graduated in
without a phone.
Without a phone, and he could use a slide rule. He actually wrote a manual on how to program a computer before he left high school. Do you think these kids nowadays could do that?
No.
No way in hell could they do it.
They wouldn't know the first thing about programming.
No, they wouldn't.
I'm sure there's some Einsteins out there.
Yeah, well, a handful, but I'm talking about. I consider my brother. I mean, he did do well. I mean, he did. He wasn't. He did get good grade. He did get good grades. But let's face it, he had a lot of friends who also did well. They did.
You were in the same gene pool. What happened to you?
Well, I blew it off. I mean, I wasn't the same. I wasn't the good things. I had really decent GPA. I mean, I passed. I mean, I could graduated months ahead of time. I just graduated to do the walk in the springtime.
I graduated 6 months early, and look where I am.
Yeah, it's like and I had people.
I graduated wearing high tops, so I get through.
I graduated in December of the year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Before.
Did you go to the military then, or?
Yeah, it was in basic training during graduation.
Yes, yeah. So my brother graduated, and I think we're all 17 when we graduated. Then Kathy and I turned 18 about 9-10 days after graduation. So this was in June, and we did our birthdays.
But I never got my diploma. They wouldn't give it to me because they said I owe money for books. So I just went and
Your parents.
and graduated and did a couple things and got a diploma.
Did you
high
remember
school
doing
diploma in Germany?
Did you do anything with the book? I can't remember what you did with the books or.
Oh, they were in the. They were. I think they're not there anymore.
They're still in the locker.
Still in the locker.
No, they were in the house.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But it just wasn't worth it to go through the rigmarole. I just took 2 classes in the Army and they got a high school diploma.
Nowadays, are they required to have a high school diploma when you go in the military now? Or
I have no idea.
I think right now, because
They're
of
desperate.
recruitment,
They can't get anybody because of DEI.
Yeah.
did you? There's a guy who does videos on YouTube. He does outdoor camping and he goes all over the world with this Maverick, and he's got and actually just recently he actually did this like Marine Corps thing where he went through a couple of days of training, like a weekend or something like that, of training in the Marine Corps and try to inspire people to enlist. And that's and he's a huge influencer. He makes a lot of money doing what he does.
Right.
He's got his own product line and stuff like that. And he'd be ridiculous if you signed up because he's making more money he would in the military, I guarantee it, But yeah, that just goes to show you that the Department of Defense or whatever's doing recruiting is desperate. I mean, to get him to do this, to pull all the strings so he can get all this clearance and stuff like that so he can go into this.
They were desperate 30 years ago. They're really desperate.
Yeah, no, it's basically, my dad said when he went in, he said because he was really overweight. He was in the Korean War.
Yeah, no choice. Your dad was drafted.
He's drafted, and he said all he did is he said they held a mirror up to his face, and okay, you frogged it over, you qualify. Yeah, thick glasses.
Do you think we're going to go back to the draft?
Oh yeah, they're going to
I'm
be.
sorry.
They're going to.
No, they're not. Like I said before, they're not going to bring back. Well, they can bring it back, but nobody's going to go. There's no patriotism for anyone to go. There may be a few, but they're not going to. No. And the first time that they take a person and put them in jail,
enforce
and if it's the wrong demographic that they took that person from, and they're burning shit down, that draft will go away. Why would we have to draft anyways? To go where?
Yeah, I mean we're going to be in Israel and Ukraine and Iran.
No, they don't have the support, and they know they don't have the support.
But
they don't even have the support to give them money. Do you think people are going to support giving the lives of their children?
You haven't heard anything about Israel for the last few years.
John, look around. Do you think some of these kids that you see in the neighborhood, if they get drafted, they're going to go? No.
Well, they did make it through to be dead just to do this.
But I'm just saying, it's not like it was when we grew up.
No, I mean,
you were scared back then. If you were drafted, you were scared. You had to go in. You had the sense of responsibility. Some people.
Well, there hasn't been a draft since 1970. I think it ended in 72, 73.
Yeah, 73.
I mean, it was just they weren't drafting, but they didn't do a bill or whatever to resend it or whatever.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, my brother, he was, like I said, he graduated in 71, and it looked like his number was going to come up. And just as they're deciding if they're going to pull out of Vietnam, it was still going on when he graduated. So he listed about a year or so afterwards into the Air Force, and he served a couple of years there. Then his wife's father, wife's father got sick, and so they got a hardship discharge. So but he was at the missile silos out there in Montana. So nice. He didn't. He said he said, God, you never hear about this happening, but now you're in this position. You're always worried this is going to happen. You're going to have to punch the sequence to launch.
But they lost everything. They don't have the apparatus like that. They don't own media. I'm talking about the government. They don't own media anymore. Nobody reads newspapers. There's no way they can sway political opinion anymore. If like they think, because Harris proves that.
Right.
That they don't have the power that they once had. And
it seems like when that speech that the talk that John Kerry is making, he's lamenting that they don't have the ability to go through the noise.
Because there's too much noise. Like we're noise.
Yeah, we're noise because okay, you guys are both in the military. Would you want to see a draft reinstated?
No, because
not the way
at the time when I was in the military, I had enough problems with the volunteers.
Yeah,
and plus a kid now, you draft him and they go, oh, well, I'm not doing it.
Well, I remember
want to put you in jail. Okay. Well, I don't care.
Well, Bill Maher, I remember a few years ago, he said, well, everyone should have 2 years military service. I said, And I looked up, I didn't think I ever saw military time in his life. So everybody advocates for it after
because
the time.
Germany had, I don't know if they still have conscripts or not. You had to either go, you went to the military, did some kind of worked in a hospital, and there were some other things you could do.
They did away with on the military service. I know that because my friends.
But what I'm saying is, They just knew that they were going to be there for 2 years. They didn't give a crap.
Yeah, so and to probably come up with some kind of perks,
My brother-in-law did it.
Yeah, my friend, so he was stationed in Germany during in the army when he was in the army, and his son, because he was born there, was subjected to that, and just before he didn't have to do it. You did basically come to, you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to serve in the military for 2 years like they had been before. So he was like he's in his 30s now, I'd say, but but it
Weren't
was
you a training? Weren't you a training person?
DI.
Drill sergeant?
Drill
Yeah.
sergeant.
Yeah.
Oh, that would not be good with the new draft, would you? You would not.
No,
have,
because you got them. Where are they going to go?
that's true.
A drill sergeant is a drill sergeant is a drill sergeant. You can't take that away just because you got drafted.
Was it different? Did you see it when you came out? Was it any different when you started being a drill sergeant as before you retired? I mean, it had changed.
I don't know. I only did drill sergeant for 2 years.
Did you?
The only thing I remember
When I
hearing
was
about,
in 92 to 94. No, 94 and 96.
so I remember
Something like that.
my friends used to tell me when they went in, they were running in combat boots, and then later on they went
Well, yeah,
to
that's when I
tennis
first
shoes, yeah.
when I first joined. It was your uniform. Only thing you did is took out. Well, it depended if it was hot or cold. You would take off your top, pull your pant leg up, roll it up, and that was the PT uniform.
Yeah, that's what they said. But then they went to I guess there's too many problems with the feet going on with the combat boots running. They say they did away with that. But like my dad said,
No, because females didn't have to take. The only people that had to take a PT test was a combat. And what they did in the military when I first joined, the only hard stripes, like the sergeants and the corporals, were in combat arms, MOSs. Everybody else was like a specialist, fourth class, fifth class, sixth class, seventh. You were just a specialist in your area. You didn't have hard stripes. A corporal could come in and bring pain on E7s.
did you get the belt built up like they're going to make your drill
No, they were
sergeant?
scared. I just remember being in the chow line when they decided that they were going to change everything.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have we had to go to special schools for promotion. Like we had to go. It was called PNOC, primary non-commissioned officers course, and then basic non-commissioned officers course and advanced. The rest of the army didn't have to go through that. Only combat arms, and then when they did that, that was the beginning of the end for the army.
Did you ever see the book called Flirting with Disaster about women in combat roles? It came out back in the mid 90s. And I remember reading, now this is just, I was reading this in the book. They said that women didn't have to run the courses fast.
Because they were in support MOSs.
Right.
Right.
They were support. And
Yeah.
that's the way that they were treated, as support. Not treated badly. No, they got paid the same amount as their counterparts,
Right.
as males, but they were in support MOSs.
Yeah,
And that's the way it was.
Now, when I was in the military, and that's when they were putting women on the ships,
Mhm.
and they were calling them USS Love Boat, and they
Yeah.
were calling USS Tampons, and everything like that.
Well, yeah, because when we were in Iraq,
That's right.
the women found out because they only had to come up pregnant to go home.
Yeah, they said I remember reading one, the first Persian Gulf engagement, like one ship, like a large portion of the females were pregnant. Yeah, it's a large one.
Well, a lot of them were getting pregnant just so they could go home.
Right.
Yep.
So,
I don't blame them.
but my dad did tribute though. He said if he hadn't gone in the army, because he was really overweight, he was 300 pounds, over 300 pounds. He lost 120 pounds in 4 months. But he had coat bottom glasses, this thick, and he was the only child. He was the only son. Any one of those factors should have got him like a deferment, or he didn't use any of them. He went and he served his 2 years, and in Korea, he was a combat engineer, heavy equipment operator, and demolition expert. So I mean, he was in the thick of it, So I mean, and here he was. I mean, grotesquely over. He said if he had,
He was a heavy equipment operator with that type of glasses.
yeah, that glasses and everything else, yeah, and they said I guess he said literally I think that was qualified. I steamed up the mirror, so I was breathing, so they figured I was good enough to go. Yeah, didn't have high standards, obviously.
What do you think about what they're floating? They're calling it the little secret about Trump about becoming the House Speaker after the election.
I would be all for it because I think he'd
But do you
to
think
keep
he's
them
just
interested.
playing a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
No, yeah.
I do.
I think it's to piss off Pelosi and Harris and Schumer and everybody else. I think he loves to piss off them.
Well, a lot of what because they're still not giving him the Secret Service the protection that he I think he should get. I'm pretty sure if he becomes the if he's elected president, then they have to give him.
Yeah.
I'd still keep my own guys on it. I'd use my own funds. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust anything the government issued after that failure in Pennsylvania. I wouldn't trust
His
them.
same guys that's been with him forever. I would keep those guys. But
Yeah, I'd put them on the private payroll.
But he's using his own funds for his transition team. I can imagine how much money that's costing him.
See, the thing is, if he's such a bad person, he's spending huge sums of cash to do something good for the country. What the hell are the other bozos doing? They always want to find a way of taking from us. He's
Right.
given back more than he's ever taken
But
from the American people.
I'm sure most of it so he can keep everything secret.
Yeah, well, I would do that though. I mean, you can't trust anybody in that business. For him, you can't trust anybody. You can't.
he's proven it over and over, and they don't like it.
Yeah, they just let's face it. He was the outsider. He still
But
is.
they
the
always
outsider.
they treated Reagan like crap. Anybody who wanted to change, they said Reagan was stupid. Reagan
Right.
wasn't stupid.
Well, yeah. Well, Kissinger one time said he only read 2 books in his life. I mean, of course, he was an arrogant ass anyway, Kissinger. But I mean, he kept on current affairs and stuff like that. He had Human Events was one thing. He used to go to the magazine or newspaper called Human Events. And, Reagan was. He was a big follower of that publication, and he kept abreast of. He knew historical context and stuff from that.
I'm trying to think of the person that ran against Trump. He later died of cancer, but he was literally a rocket scientist, and he was from Atlanta, Georgia, black guy.
Oh my God! I remember.
But they made him out to be an idiot because he wanted to get rid of the income tax.
Yeah, he had the six. That
He
one
called
thing.
it the plan. They were making fun of his plan.
But the plan was really good. That everybody paid. You paid
Right.
food. You paid on.
But I'm just saying, it's just the history of what the media. They try to make these people look stupid.
They're
do a
not. Job of it.
But they can't do it with Trump.
Today I was listening to Pandora, right? And I was doing that building that deck, and this guy comes up and is talking about Kamala Harris. So it was an ad, and the guy goes, and Trump wants to put a tariff on everything that comes from China. So everything
Damn right.
and anything that says made in China, you just got to think it's going to go up 60%. And I'm thinking, do you realize how stupid you sound in this ad?
No, because it's stupid. They're just going to have to suck it up. You can't just raise everything arbitrarily 60% because nobody will buy it. Because most of the shit that they bring into our country is garbage to begin with.
Right. It's like one other thing is too. People always tell me when I bring about taxation, well, you got to have the taxation because it builds our roads up and our highways and our infrastructure. Okay, then why? Okay, these Chinese or whatever have access to our markets, utilizing the trucks that are come bring this stuff.
Not only
in.
that,
They should pay.
They buy
share.
farms.
Right.
They buy. Look what they're doing right here. They were going to buy that company. I think it failed. The solar powered battery company up north.
Yeah.
And here in Michigan, I think that fell through.
Whitmer tried to shove that down their throat.
Yeah.
But we were giving them money to come here and build their company, and not only build that company, but to bring they had housing that they were going to build for their workers that they were going to import.
Yeah, so they weren't even going to employ our people.
No,
they're going to bring their own, which is so seriously stupid. Let a bunch of nationals from China live amongst your people. You don't know what they're planning.
How about the spy from my community college? It was up. They had up in Grayling taking all the different pictures of Camp Grayling.
Oh my God! Well, that's during the Clinton administration.
There's nothing up there,
but during the Clinton administration, they had a Chinese general's son working at Los Alamos.
Well, they just dug up something on your boy Timmy that he had a communist girlfriend.
Tim Walsh.
Tim Walsh. Yeah, Tampon Tim. They dug that up from his past. Well, he was in Congress.
Well, look at the Eric Sawa or whatever.
Well, I mean, it's okay that he cheats on his wife with the Chinese communist.
Well, see, that's the thing is amongst that political circle. I mean, there is no cheating. That's like the only time they get pissed off is when the public finds.
But they don't care. I mean, you should have some morals.
Yeah, morals and that.
But they don't. I mean, they wear it like a badge of honor.
Well, see, the thing is,
I got a DWI.
Yeah,
I didn't speak English. I act like I couldn't hear them. I didn't speak English.
They're just There's, I don't know. I mean, it just, and both parties are capable of being just as bad, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
But-
They're
but
both in
what
bed
if-
with each other, literally both in bed with each other.
But he has clearances to sit in at some meetings, and then he's getting all this information. Do you think he's not sharing it with his girlfriend
Oh, it definitely is.
that has ties to China?
You know, Swallow is doing the same
I mean,
thing.
how did they vet him to become vice president
There is no vetting.
with all this shit in his background?
I always said this because one woman I dated for, she worked for the FBI, and it was during the Clinton, after the Clinton era, during heading into the Obama era, obviously. And she goes, "Well, we do background checks on this person, that person. Why don't you guys just run a random check? And anybody who says they're going to run for president, why don't you say go do the stuff, due diligence you're supposed to do on everybody else? You sniff up our bums. Why don't you do these people trying to hit a political office at a high level?" She goes, "Well, we're not allowed to do that. See, the FBI is not allowed to conduct, investigations that people are trying to run for office."
Not legal investigations.
No, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. They could check our background instantly as soon as we apply for a job or anything.
Yeah,
It's good.
right.
Yeah, but they can't do this on the high level.
Not only
No.
that, you pee in a cup or do a saliva test for drug tests. You do all kinds of at our level to get a job.
Yeah, but these guys can get. I mean, they can have
They can walk
connections.
in with the greatest Secret Service you ever want.
Yeah,
All the greatest secrets you want, confidential, whatever.
and
And then they can turn around and sell that to China. Forget the balloons are up in the air.
well, they always say, I always see these cop videos where people are taking pictures of buildings and stuff like, and the cops come out. Well, you can get this as national security or something like that, even if it's not a federal installation. I went, if there's anything pertinent, our congressman and senator have already sold it to the highest bidder in the foreign markets. I mean, so there's nothing you could take from the outside that's going to be that revealing and that detrimental to our safety. That's wherever the eye can see, you can be able to record. That's what the Supreme Court's ruled. So, yeah, but they're trying to, but they're going to. We know these guys have given up the crucial. They probably give them our codes. They're our congressman, senator. They took China, Russia, whoever. I guarantee they.
But
buy
I
it.
mean, just like if you look at that number one story, John, that
Yeah, okay. Local ABC station mistakenly broadcast premature election results showing Harris winning over Trump before the election even took place. Do you think they're just a technical error? No, I don't. think it is.
they made an apology and said that they were just testing
They were just
the ticker to make sure that it worked.
Yeah, just
But why would you make Harris like 52-0 or whatever against
why
with
don't you
100%?
Well, just say, why don't you just say, we're testing this, testing. I do that when I run something online and want to check before I put test. This is only a test.
Yeah, but that goes along with number 3 too.
What is it, number 3?
Where you also said Michigan Secretary of State admitted that there were nationwide programming issues with Dominion voting machines.
That's nationwide though. That's just not Michigan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's crazy. Why do we have voting machine? I understand it makes things easier, but I mean, how hard is it to have a piece of paper being scanned with the barcode?
It shouldn't be that hard. The thing is, what I don't like about it at all, just because you have that doesn't mean that they're not allowing you to vote the way you really want to. They can change it.
But say that
I think they
so
can.
you took in, I don't know, say that like Genesee Township, that there were maybe I don't know 5,000 or 8,000 votes or whatever.
Right.
How hard is that to count by hand?
I don't. You got 3 or 4 people. I think you'd whip it on at least a couple hours. But just doing 2, 3, 4. Okay, what do you got? Okay, and then tally it up. Well, I don't think it should be that hard. I don't think
You
it
should
should
have. You got people on both sides counting, right?
Right.
But how can other countries like France, they know by midnight,
Yeah, you were supposed to be the
the
ones.
whole country.
Right.
I mean, granted, it's only the size of a smaller state, but still.
We are supposed to be the beacon light about elections, and we suck.
But each one of them are state. I just don't understand why all of a sudden this has just been happening
since 2000s.
Well, they used COVID for the first excuse, right?
Well,
I'm trying to figure out.
But before that, the hanging Chad,
Yeah, the
Florida, that was so stupid.
That was stupid,
where
man.
These idiots are looking. I think that taking off their glasses and looking.
Does that look like a Chad to you?
Is that hanging?
and the Democrats are saying, yeah, it was in there.
And it
was
still
biased.
didn't help them.
No, it's like, yeah, he ended up winning anyway. Which actually, looking in retrospect, it probably been and would probably been distinguishable. from him.
Gore would have done some stuff.
Yeah, he
We
did.
wouldn't-
And
we wouldn't
would you
screw.
want Gore to be in charge during a war?
Oh no, you
Well, there may not have been a war because Cheney wouldn't have been there.
yeah, Cheney is like, oh, let's have a war. Let's make money. Let's make money.
Well, we still at 9/11. I don't know what would have been. the
I
response
don't
from
I
them,
don't
but-
think that would have happened that because I think the people who attacked us were actually connected, were pissed off at George Bush the first and got back to the second. That's what I think, That's
be.
yeah, because let's face it. I mean, you can't. They knew that they know more about these guys than we do. I swear to God, they do. They probably know their shoe size.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Well, they all hang out together. I mean, and then other things, Osama bin Laden's family and stuff like that they were connected to the Bushes. I mean, they're friends. They knew each
He was
other.
educated in the United States.
Yeah,
We did.
And that's what we do. We
Yeah.
educate our
our enemies.
They were
enemies.
put in place by
Yeah,
Bush.
yeah, we
Right.
right,
He was in the CIA.
right.
Right.
And what's just like Saddam Hussein, we put him in position because he was going against Iran.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah, Iran. Yeah. So I mean, and he was bad, but he wasn't as bad as the other.
No,
people
he wasn't
there.
doing anything
No.
crazy. It was just that
He
he
defended
fell out of favor.
he defended the Christian minority in Iraq. I mean, he wasn't like best buddies with them, but he did what he could to protect them.
And then when we decided to go in there, we wanted to make it look good, so we went in the Desert Storm, and
And I mean, I knew it was all BS. I mean, of course, like you said, that you had Colin Powell making the case to go to war after 9/11. I was screaming at the damn TV set. My dad was getting upset. I was down at his house. And he goes, they're going to do what they're going to do. He said, we're sent to Vietnam. We had no reason why. He said, I didn't know what the hell I was in Korea for. They're going to do what they want because they want to make money on this. That's all it is.
There was no reason to go to Vietnam. A little country like
No,
that.
there was no reason. And then
no oil, no minerals, no.
nothing. I mean, it was like, they're so fair. And there was thing is,
It was because they're communists.
they're communists.
they use that all the time.
Yeah, it's like they're communists. Well, guess what? They say, well, look how bad this country is for doing this. I went, we've invaded more
But at
countries
the
than
time,
anybody else
they
has.
were like a third world country. We built them up by being there for war.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Why don't we do this? We would stop all the wars if we pull ourselves out,
Uh,
get our own oil, tell everybody you want to go kill yourselves, go have fun.
well, another thing is,
they're not going to do it because the people in power want more power and want more money.
that's right.
Because the guys there
Because you
military,
got people,
wanna
you got like Mr. Fancy Pants that's always trying to get people to go
go to war
to war.
Yeah,
because he makes more money.
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham. And one other thing is, I always heard that Johnson, LBJ during the Vietnam War, was wanting us to increase our troop strength there because they're going to be issued the M16 rifle. His wife
And he
stock
had
in the
money
company.
invested.
He had money in that. His wife did. Yep. So he basically sent our people, and then the gun was actually
I don't
misfiring.
doubt that they think like that.
No, I don't think that. I mean, I
No,
think
because they
it's-
didn't have the forward assist.
They didn't have the forward assist, and that people were getting killed because their weapons weren't able to return fire.
I just love.
They
We
didn't
got
care.
How does it feel to have the weapon made by the Mattel toy company?
Yeah, and it's like
But people don't know who Mattel is anymore.
because that's gone. But yeah, I mean, it's like I didn't believe that when I first heard that. It was made by Mattel.
I think
Mattel.
the pistol the handguards were made by Mattel.
Yeah, I guess that was injection plastic or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but I mean, it's still. I mean, and let's face it, we had Singer Sewing Machine Company making handguns, firearms during the Second World War. And other companies like tool and die makers are
All
making them.
right, Second World War. I think we got in there for a reason. They bombed us, but it was the reason why. And you go through.
Yeah,
it,
but
we
when
got a
you
lot of
look
money.
at history, you find out that they knew.
FDR,
we knew.
FDR,
we knew that
They
that
let- they
bomb was
let-
going in.
Not we, they.
They
knew.
You'll never be a
Well,
we.
from what I understand, and I
I'm
could be
sorry.
wrong if anybody knows this, but during the attack in Pearl Harbor, they put the before the attack, they actually put the aircraft carriers, which more recent.
They took them
development,
out.
They took them out. They're at sea. They weren't in harbor. They took the older Liberty ships and
Well-
you sacrificed them.
And there was other ships that were supposed to be out,
Right.
and the admiral said, "Well, I'll move them out a few days from now."
They say up to 2 weeks before the attack that FDR had full knowledge of the impending attack.
Yeah.
They had up to 2 weeks beforehand.
And he was going to let some
It's
of the
just-
ships get burned.
And
They don't care about us.
No, they don't. We are, and it's like they say, well, you enjoy benefit later. I mean, some people try to be apologists for them. Look at all the great money and all the success and all the. I'd rather have people living. They could have been living,
Well,
Have them
we
living out
also
their
did
lives.
is made income tax
Yeah.
more stronger.
so they can have more money. That's all they're about.
It's money and power.
That's it. And then you have one, you got the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want anybody else power over anybody else's life because I barely was making decisions that I think is good satisfaction for my
because-
own.
Because what somebody said, every time there's an event, they raise income, they raise it,
Mhm.
but they never lower it back to where it was.
No. Why? Why
because
give
they
up
don't have
power?
to, because we're stupid. And plus, I mean, like you said, 57% of people don't pay taxes, and I'm sure a huge amount of that 57% is probably on
Assistance.
some kind of assistance where they get money from the government anyway. So
And it
what do
gets
they
right.
care? They don't care, huh? Have you ever went to the grocery store when you're looking to what you can afford,
Right.
and you see somebody load up a big old basket that like doesn't have a care in the world?
Well,
They
the,
got-
And then when they
T-bones.
go to pay for it, if they don't have enough to pay for it, they take stuff out. They don't even think about how much stuff they put in there.
well, in the 70s, the only people who could afford cable TV and steaks at the store were the people who were getting assistance. The rest of us working class couldn't do it.
Mhm.
I mean, they're getting cable TV back then. It was only 10, 15 bucks a month, okay, from Comcast. Well, not
Because
Comcast,
there was no
there was no
taxes.
taxes
Now
on
it's
it.
$250.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, let's face it. I mean, we use internet service provider for, Comcast, and that's 100 and something a month on that just for the internet. I mean, it's all, you look at it, it's like 80% of it's taxes.
Well, the same thing. 70%, 70 cents on every dollar at the gas station here in the state of Michigan is taxes.
Yeah, I mean, because
70 cents.
they say the power to tax is the power to destroy. I always heard that, and never. But when you have the power to tax, you can thwart people's
Or I should
opinions.
say, I think that's on the gallon,
Yeah.
not on the dollar.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, on the gallon. But I mean, when you control how much
What do you
money
think?
people have, you can control what they can and cannot do in their
Well, I mean,
lives.
look, Whitmer. They asked her during COVID if she could let go. So she refused.
I know. I got power.
They needed to keep that money, that tax money. They were asked, let up on some of this money because people aren't working,
Right.
We need
but
it.
she wouldn't do it.
So, I mean, she's like, well, like, I mean, we
I
are
got to fix the
slaves.
roads. How am I going to fix the roads?
So I don't see how
How am I gonna
people.
do this?
The 4th of July means nothing to me because I mean they wave that flag, they shoot off the fireworks, but we have hardly any.
Oh no,
freedom
you're not
left.
allowed to anymore.
Oh, I can't.
I mean,
Oh, God, no.
And then you don't. Well, in the city of Flint, you don't want to go to the wrong fireworks because you might get shot. Anyways,
Yeah, it might not be the fireworks. They're going up. You might see.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking gunshot.
You might see the fireworks coming towards you.
Well, New Year's Eve one year, after New Year's Eve, when everybody fires up in the air, my brother-in-law was down at my dad's house, and he was like pulling out the driveway. My dad had his truck in the drive out on the street, and he pulls up, he sees something in the hood, and he pulls back and stops. There was a 9mm or 38 slug halfway into the the crease that it's on the.
There's a dumb shooting
Yeah,
up in there.
Yeah, going
Oh my
about that
God.
much deep into that metal. I mean, he was like, I go on there. He goes, come here and see this. And I pulled it out and I kept it for a while. But it was like, yeah, it's stuck in the hood of my dad's truck.
Oh my Lord.
I mean, people say, I said, that can come right through. That's going to go right through a wood, easily.
Well, I remember my dad, my uncle going outside and shooting buckshot in there.
Buckshot, yeah. But I think that falls apart a little bit easier, though, and doesn't have the.
Or actually, I think it was birdshot. It wasn't buckshot.
Yeah, because I mean, if you shoot in the ground, I'm not advocating that's illegal to discharge a firearm in the city limits. But if you're going to do it, put it into the ground.
It's a little bit
It's a
better.
backstop. I mean, unless it's hard ground like frozen,
Then you're in trouble.
come back at you. But no, I mean, we got stupid people out there. I mean, really, with that. Well, then again, when you realize, is it arrogance to say that people are stupid and saying
No,
you're
they
not
know you're
included?
stupid because they probably chuckle
Yeah,
about all the stuff they get away with
yeah.
because people are stupid. Or how about ignorant? That's a better
That's
word. They're
better, yeah.
ignorant of no. I'm saying
are.
that ignorant of their
laws.
rights.
Right.
I'm not saying they're stupid people. They just don't know.
Well,
The
And
laws.
those of us that do know can't do anything about it. 'Cause
Well, we're trained to be too compliant because we want to fit in. We want to function in society, and we're told it's rather to go along to get along.
after you reach a certain age, you don't care anymore.
It's like,
It's like the Red Hat Society for women. You know where the Red Hat Society? Yeah. Where they
does that still
they
go
don't
on?
Pink hats.
Is-
purple hats that wear.
Wait, you're
purple.
talking about
the women that wear those hats, the purple hat society.
I think you.
The red hats.
The
I thought it
red
was-
hats,
Yeah, the red
yeah.
hats. Yeah.
What about them?
they can say whatever they want to.
Did they still
I
around?
don't even think they're around anymore.
Yeah.
Because last time I seen them, they were pretty old. Because I think we had a couple of red hats come through here.
Yeah.
we were talking about it. They were like in their 70s.
Yeah, there was.
So, I mean, they kept on going. There's.
I don't think they do that anymore.
They say somebody felt if you're
I-
listening, if you know if that's still going on, let us know. But
That would be cute.
because it was like 15 years ago, I remember that was big. 15, 18 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember one of my aunts used to show up, and people say, "Well, that's a white group or a black group." I said, I've seen them mixed. I mean, they showed up
And
wearing
they
their
said
hats.
whatever they wanted to say. And
Yeah.
did what they wanted.
I don't know.
I wish maybe we should start the red hats for. No, they would be considered.
We already
communists.
are. They already have the red hats.
Yeah.
The MAGA.
Yeah.
But
the
now
magnet,
and
the dark magnet.
Trump's going to take out the garbage on the 5th
No,
of next week.
I mean, he's gonna take us all out. No, because we're all the garbage according to Biden. Remember?
Well, if we get rid of a lot of these taxes, I mean, because we're going to be seniors.
yeah, it's like
You two are gonna be seniors.
Yeah.
I'm still coming up. So
Yeah, just think about it, Sonny. You're going to be up there sooner.
I said going to be, so you're going to be too.
See, you get up here and then it goes. And then
right straight
if
down.
we all had hair, it'd be blowing back. But
Yeah, I'm the one's gone already. So
Yeah.
hey, so the Supreme Court did say that Virginia could remove?
Yeah, those 1,500 non-citizens from their voter rolls. Yes, they're going to be taken out.
I don't
So
know. Maybe
Youngkin won that run, right?
maybe
Yes.
too bad. Maybe we should all go to Mexico and see if we can vote stuff in. Not being residents or citizens of Mexico.
As you get a shot, you want to try that one?
No, that's all right. It's like they take it seriously. We're supposed to be more accommodating, I guess.
I mean, I don't think Americans get. You don't hear about Americans getting shot in Mexico.
Mexico.
No, but if they try to take, well, if
Or
you try
maybe
to
they're
vote
just
in,
not reporting it. Maybe we're not in California.
I guess that they have communities on there where people go like on where the travel.
They're gated.
The gated communities, yeah, and they tell you not to go out after dark. And sometimes they do have security personnel that stays with you. When you go to a place.
My older brother just went down to Mexico. He said it was because everything's like being on a cruise ship.
Yeah,
Because that's all you go to is that compound.
yeah.
Right.
And then I think they have like little tourist buses that you can get on. He said it. He had to walk like a mile from his bungalow to the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Really?
So he started getting stuff and just bringing it back to the room.
A mile? I don't do that.
I
at
don't know
all.
if it was a mile, but it was a little ways away for an older dude to walk.
It's like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
so I'm, God, it is. I'm 61. God, I don't think I could. And I'm looking back and say that was 18. That was just a short time ago, wasn't it?
It was a blink of few minutes.
Wonder where the hell, where the hell did it go, man? Anyway,
I don't know, but it's interesting.
So what do you think? So
What do you think?
everything's going to be better for you if Trump wins.
I think
your
it will.
business.
I think it will. I'm hoping. I mean, it's kind of. I was thinking about it today. What happens if it is true that she wins? I really. We were talking about that. A friend of mine.
But will anybody believe it was fair and just?
they
If she
would.
does win?
her followers, would.
Especially if she doesn't win, if it's days later.
It'll be a days later thing, but I won't understand. It's the thing is that you'll get what you vote.
Will you have a good feeling about it? Because I still
No.
don't about Biden.
No,
I can't.
won't.
Well,
I'm going to go through
that
it.
I just can't believe that people are that. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
abortion is the only reason they're going to vote for it.
No, it's
What
because
is it? Or
no.
because they hate Trump?
it's this viral hate for somebody.
But I mean, me and John were talking earlier today. I mean, it would be if he loses, I'll feel bad for a day or two, but it's not going to change. I mean, it probably will this time change your life because
I'll be depressed.
I'm sure round 2 is going to be a lot worse than round 1.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when Iran wants her, when China wants her, when Russia wants her, when all of our enemies want her
And
as a president, that's the problem.
But another thing that I seen today is that on the Blaze, they were accusing her of being drunk her last 2 rallies.
She looks drunk all the time.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so. The way she reacts and she's just the total, the way kind of the dismal, the way she responds to stuff. Yeah, I think there's something going on there. That or she's got dementias too of some sort. I mean, she's not all that bright.
Well, she can't even do a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan.
She only want to do an hour.
She wanted to do a 1 hour. JD Vance actually took her place and did the 3-hour.
He did?
Yeah, today.
So, that's cool. I want to see him because it's going to be a lot different than Trump.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
He's got a lot to talk about his life in his book, in the movie.
Because Joe Rogan.
I don't want to see him politically. I want to see just him talk about his life.
Right.
But I just
because they told him that you got to come and see her at this place.
Trump was able to do it,
and she was in.
Yeah, I mean, she had too many. Well, and still he bent over. I don't know if he said that he would go to her, but
oh no, he said he wanted.
I know, but what I'm saying is, she's the one that said that he still extended it. She's the one that according to X, that she turned him down.
Well, I remember Rogan said that she hasn't turned him down yet, but he's that she did want to put he didn't like the conditions she was putting on it. So I mean, anyway,
She went to another guy's interview.
Yeah, no, I
And that
looked
was
at it
softball.
last time I looked at it. It only had, I don't think it had 700,000. I don't even know if it was 700,000 views. It wasn't that many views. And then Trump's got 38 million. I haven't looked at it lately.
Yeah.
Last time I looked at it, it was 38 million.
that's the number I heard. Yes, 38 million. I'm still envious of the 700,000, but I'd love to see that one for ourselves.
And
But
see, that's the part that was when you ask if she wins. That's the part that gets me a little bit. If she wins, with Trump getting 38 million, when Trump gets all these different people to show up, right? Just because he shows up, and he doesn't have to do a concert, he doesn't bring celebrities
But
in.
does it make you feel good or any better when you hear like Charlie Kirk saying that that the mail-in ballots that are like 40,000 ahead here, 100 or 60,000 ahead in this state for Republicans? We got that banked already.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel like?
It makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. But then you know what? Then you.
But do you? I'm good. But do you believe them in what they're saying that Trump's going to have his landslide?
I
mean,
I want to believe it.
I want to believe it, honestly. But then all I remember is the thing in 2020 when Gretchen Whitmer had them put those big white boards up.
I voted for Gretchen Whitmer.
Did you? The first time or second?
Oh, I couldn't vote for Schuette.
No, I can't stand shooting myself, but I voted for him. But
I couldn't vote
the first time I voted for her.
How was the second time?
I don't remember.
I voted for.
No, I think I was pissed because they took all the people I wanted to vote off by saying they had fraudulent
signatures.
ballots. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy I liked was the police chief.
Yeah.
I liked him.
The one
Detroit.
Detroit.
And I haven't heard from him since they screwed him over.
Yeah. And he was
they were scared of him.
Why was the Republican Party not behind that?
Because the Republican Party doesn't look. There's no difference when the Republicans are in charge of the House than the Democrats. I don't think. I mean, I was having a conversation with John, I think last year or whatever, and I told him that the Democrats were in charge of the House, and he didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, oh, really? Because it runs the same either way. I mean, like I said, if they really want to do something years ago with the abortion issue, the House and Senate was controlled by by conservatives at one time in Michigan. They didn't do anything about it. And a Hickory conservative brought that up to the attention, when he did that third rail politics thing show, and he brought that up. He said the third rail is like the alternative. You had touched the third rail, you're zapped, on the train, but it's like something maybe we should opt for in politics. But no, I mean, yeah, there's very little difference between the two parties. I mean, very little. Just in what I call rhetoric. That's it. I mean,
they're disgusting.
Yeah,
anybody who has $17 million in a slush fund for
For what?
For allegations of rape or sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's our money, folks. I mean,
$17 million.
There's nothing. I mean, unless these parties are raising it and pooling it together. I mean, that's our tax dollars.
Well, could you imagine how much a city that's in disrepair could do with that 17?
Yeah.
Well, then again, with all their freaking regulations, stipulations, and stuff. Here's $1 for you. Now we're going to take $2 back. So that 17 million probably only ended up being 6.
But even 6 million would help.
Yeah, but I just think it's BS that they got that much money to pay that kind of stuff. I mean, it shouldn't be that regular.
But if you look,
they have to pay out.
I mean, during COVID, when all that money was coming into the city of Flint, it was hundreds, like $100 million that went through the city of Flint. Where'd it go?
Was it all into the pipes? I don't think so.
All the free.
It went right to the city of Flint's mayor.
I think Karen got pretty rich.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just
not rich enough to run a campaign to get reelected, but
even if she had enough money, people just said no. I guess that would be the no. But even if she had unless they're paying people to go vote for her, directly. Here's $500.
I didn't meet her.
I met her. She was nice.
She was nice, but yeah.
But then when she went on TV, she changed.
It's like because especially we got
even her accent. All of a sudden, she started talking a total different way than she talked. She talked like a dentist when we were talking to her.
See, I went to the school down the street here that was named T. Wendell Williams, and that was her father. That was her father. He was a physician. He died really young. He was in his 30s, early 40s, maybe when he died, and they named the school after him. And that was during the civil rights era, and he was
Right.
also a civil rights leader in this Flint area. So I remember that. I thought that was a kind of a cool connection, but yeah, dead
But
rapidly
she,
eroded.
like I
Yeah.
said, she changed after she went on. Was it CNN?
Yeah, CNN and
And had her interview about the water.
yeah, she's
When it turned a different demographic,
When she turned
when
toward
only
racist.
supposedly a different demographic was affected by the water.
yeah. She
That's where it really showed white privilege,
yeah.
where white people supposedly
And I
weren't affected the same way. But I think it's time to shut this
It's-
off before I get in trouble.